Hello, I'm Christel. I'm here to do your monthly reading for the month of March. But first, I wanted to give you a quick overview of the astrological happenings in the month of March, because they will influence you anyway. So the first thing that happens on March the 3rd, so already in the beginning of next week, Mars is going to move signs. It's going from Taurus into Gemini, so it's getting a different vibe there. On the 13th, and for the universal time is 10:23 a.m. there's a new moon in Pisces, so daydreaming, intuition, intentions, but also, going after the hope, the desires. It's really good to set those intentions there. On the 20th, of course, the Sun goes into Aries, and another planet goes into Aries the day after. On the 21st, Venus joins the Sun in Aries, and Venus will be conjunct the Sun for a while. And Venus will stay in Aries for a few weeks. And then finally, at the end of the month, on the 28th, we'll have a full moon in Libra, and it's at 7:50 p.m. of the universal time. So have a look in your time zone where the full moon is, where the new moon is. So that is the general overview. So now I'm going to go put the camera down and start a reading. First, I wanted to say another thing is check out my website. I've rebranded it completely. I made it completely new, freshened it up. And so check it out. It's christelvangelder.com. I'll put the link in the comment box. So for now, let's start with the readings and do the real thing, what you're waiting for here. Hello, Gemini. Here's your reading for the month of March 2021. I'm starting with two cards that represent you. And I always have to see a little bit how that pans out here. So we have the Three of Cups and the Eight of Cups. Okay, which at first glance it seems a little bit contradictory, but let's have a look. So then, what is in the possibilities for you? Okay, we have two major cards here. We have to start with the Two of Swords, then Temperance, and the Devil card. I'm going to pull three more underneath, and then at the end I'm going to pull two. Oh, okay, Four of Wands, the Emperor, so another major card, and the Ace of Swords. Okay. So let's start with you. So you are represented by the Three of Cups and the Eight of Cups. And I feel a little bit as they are contradictory, because the Eight of Cups is leaving behind stuff, going into a new direction, going on a journey really towards things behind the mountain, and leaving all these cups behind, so leaving the past behind. But the Three of Cups is a celebratory card. Look at these people, they're celebrating something, they're coming together. It's also an emotions card. I mean, the Cups is the water element, so it's about flow, it's about emotions, feelings, but it's also about, easy stuff, easier stuff. Now I feel that this here, is you being in flow with the people around you, being flow in your relationships, being in flow with the circumstances you're encountering, being okay with them, being even in times more than okay with them. But on the other hand as well, there's a bit of two energies going on. There's also things you're leaving behind, and I feel that is because you're okay with the situation as is, and you feel that it's also almost a necessary state of being, and it's not a bad state of being, don't get me wrong, but it's learning you, it's not learning you, it's teaching you that, some things are more important than others, And it's teaching you to leave behind the stuff that's unimportant and to take on your journey of things that are important. And this can be relationships, this can be experiences, this can be material stuff, this can be the way you stand in the world. So there is a shift going on, and there are shifts going on because I see here a 2, which is choices, and I see the devil. Now, I'm not saying these are bad cards, not at all, so I hope you can see them here. They are not bad cards at all. And I know the devil can be scary, but don't worry about it. So I feel there is this growth going on inside of you, and I feel it's internal. So while things are okay, and you are like appreciating the moment, appreciating the situation, the experiences. So while you're okay with the situation as is, with the relationships in your life, with the experiences in your life, there is growth going on. And the growth is you climbing the mountain, taking from the past whatever suits you and whatever is good for you, useful to you, and then leaving behind stuff that it isn't. So that may feel a little bit contradictory, but it is not really. Because what happens here when you do that, when you're in that growth process, you'll be standing in front of choices, and choices need to be made. So you're thinking about what choices you need to make. But you're blindfolded. So you don't really know where you're heading, and that is this journey. You see that the moon is there, and the moon is not always shining the brightest light. So when the moon is, and you see that the moon is a little bit, obstructed here. So this is really you not knowing where you're heading when you're climbing the mountain, not knowing where your growth is going to leave you. But I can tell you it's going to be good, because there is the 4 of Wands card. The 4 of Wands is a successful card. It's a happy outcome card. It's a card that brings people together as well, brings situations together. But it also creates, for me, this means it creates a new foundation for you. When you do the journey, when you make choices, even you don't know where, and you're trusting that process, you're going to create a new way of being, a new foundation. A new you, as it were. So that is good. But the Temperance card for me, here this Temperance card, usually Temperance card is about, it's a slower card. It's a card that's asking for patience. But in this deck, I feel it's about choices again. And by even mixing these choices up, look at the connection between, so here is the moon, here's the sun, and then you have these connections here. So it's a bit, for me, this is an alchemic card. So it's like bringing together energies, several energies. And I feel, here you have that moon again as well. So it's about bringing together the energies from the past experiences with the new experiences. And that's going to happen. You're going to do that as the Emperor. And the Emperor is a willful card. It's sometimes a bit forceful, it's sometimes also a bit stubborn, but it is a powerful card. The Emperor energy, if you can embrace that energy, you can make these connections here as a king, as a powerful CEO of your own company, and your company being your life then, yeah. So really, there is some mixing of energy going on, and that needs to happen. It needs to happen in order for you to grow, because you have to integrate. Even if you leave stuff behind, there is stuff you need to integrate from your past in your new journey, in the new you, in this thing that's coming out, this Emperor, to be, the boss of yourself. And not in a literal way to be the boss of your company, but just, to be in charge of yourself and to know yourself better. You have to mix these energies, past, present, and even future, What will happen is sometimes the devil creeps in, and I want to see this devil as an advice card. To warn you that this devil is going to come in, this devil is going to make you afraid, and it's just his fears from the past, this fear sometimes of not knowing immediately where you're going to end up in your journey. But that's okay. I feel this devil is here, has a very useful function, because it's going to make you aware of, where your own flaws, where your own insecurities are lying. And because it brings those to the surface, you can work with them. And you can work with them in a way that cuts through them. The Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is, I call this always the cutting through bullshit card. So it's really cutting through these insecurities, these fears, and because usually these fears and insecurities are based on thoughts. And the thoughts from here, from the Two of Swords, where you don't know where you're going and where you don't know what decisions you need to make, and that is often scary, and that brings this insecurity, that not knowing how to handle the change. But the Ace of Swords tells me you're going to handle the change, and you're going to do that as a master, as the Emperor. So there is some change on the way. Yes, there will be popping in some insecurities, some fears. Yes, but all in all, you are good where you are now, and you're dealing with it, you're handling it. You're also experimenting with these energies, and at the same time, you're starting to create a new foundation. The foundation will be behind the hill. You're still climbing. At this moment, you don't have this yet. This is not there yet, because you're still doing this. You're still climbing the mountain. You don't see what's on the other side. There's internal change that you're doing, but it will happen. So let's see what the animal spirit cards say. Okay, so I'm going to pull 2. And if you hear tip-tapping of little feet, that's the dogs. It happens. They also fart sometimes. You may hear that. But talking about dogs, this card comes out. How funny. So, dog spirit. Be loyal to what you love. Okay, let's see what card that could be connected here. I feel this is really that 3 of Cups, and also here, knowing which ones you have to take on your journey. Because here in this situation that you are in now, it's important to see the good parts of it, and the parts that make you comfortable, because you need those on your journey. And that is that loyalty here. Also being loyal to yourself during the journey, and with the choices, even if you don't know where you're going, what you need to do. It will come, and that is being loyal to you, trusting yourself in this process. So I was talking about dogs, and then this comes up. Yeah, funny. And then we have the Wasp spirit. It says, sometimes life stings, and yes, that's that devil card, yeah? Sometimes these insecurities pop up. You will not like them. You will think, what the hell? Why am I feeling like this? Because I was so sure of my journey. I was so sure of what I was doing, of how my life was going. And now all of a sudden I don't know. And that is so normal. So yeah, the Wasp, sometimes it stings. And yes, sometimes it's confusing. Sometimes you'll feel, what the hell am I doing? But then you have this Ace of Swords to cut through the sting, to cut through insecurities, to cut through indecisions. This is a very powerful Ace of Swords, because it's at the end, and it's underneath the devil, okay, but it's really at the end, and it's telling me there is, it's opening up these new things here as well. So it's sort of cutting through the obstacles that you'll encounter on your journey as well. And then new possibilities can come in. So that is that Ace of Swords. So I hope, Gemini, that you'll do this work. You'll give it time, and you trust the process, because if you trust the process, it's going to be so much easier. to do all this. That's it for the month of March for you, Gemini. I hope you liked it. Give me a like. The more likes, the more the video will be shared. More people may see it and can be helped by it. And there's a dog drinking in the background, making loads of noise. Hope you don't hear it. Dogs again. That's it for now. Bye. Speak soon, Gemini.